I feel like there should be some sort of parental warning ahead of time. I don't know. I don't know, some sort of disclaimer every time we have Gerdes on.
I don't have a dump button, guys, so we're gonna have to be real
I
careful.
was wondering whether or not I was going to come in hot or not.
And we're on YouTube now, so we got to make sure that we're good.
You guys upgraded the studio. It
Yeah.
looks good in here.
Yeah, we got
Are we on video now?
We are.
All right, sweet.
Sorry, I forgot
I'm sorry,
to tell you.
guys.
He always has the sport coat on.
Yeah.
All right. So for those of you who don't know, I talk about my team on a regular basis and talk about my co-team lead, and he is in the house, and his name is Ryan Gerdes. And so, one of the things, if you've never sat in one of Ryan's trainings or had a conversation with Ryan, he is one of the very best at working the phones, whether it's outbound calls or whether it's inbound calls, whether sign calls, internet leads, and so forth. So we talked about having real estate conversations, and now I want to just kind of get into, Ryan, how you handle it and have a deeper real estate conversation when your phone is ringing.
Well, so first of all, I don't have the dashing good looks you have.
It's true.
So I had to compensate for something, So I mean, for me, it always just kind of. Let me just kind of start off with a story. It wasn't too long ago. I got on the phone and I was hot dialing. I always call it hot dialing. To me, everyone is going to be a hot lead when they're on the phone. Otherwise, I've set myself up for failure. So I give this gentleman a call because I wanted to buy some land. Okay, and I hit him up and I get the same answer that you're all used to. Why the hell are you calling me? Piss off. I don't want anything to do with you. I get 1,000 phone calls like you a day. Please stop calling me, right? And so we had to break it down. I said, if my money's no good here, then yeah, I'll happily lose your phone number. But what's going on? Because I'm going to be completely brutally honest with you. I bought your information because for some reason or something happened in your household. You've got something going on over there. I don't know what it is. I don't know if it's a divorce, if there's a marriage, if there's a birth in the family or whatever. But something happened, and so your info got dumped over to one of our data mining companies, and I bought your info because I'm interested in buying your land. And he said, "Well, it's not a typical phone conversation that I'm having." So, all right. So here's what I want to accomplish out of this conversation. I either want to transact with you, or I want to teach you how to get off this list, get out of these data mining companies. And he said, and I said, so what do you want to do here? Well, I want to get off the list. Okay, so what's going on here? Well, we bought this land and, we wanted to build our dream home on it and, kind of ran into financial troubles. COVID, it hurt my job. And so we're just going to kind of stay put and whatnot. Okay, so what are you going to do with it? Well, yeah, your dad is right, actually. We're probably going to get rid of this thing sooner rather than later. And I'm like, okay, well then let's get you off the list by transact. Let's just take it out of your title, I'll help you with that. So before long, he went from cussing me out to the very next day I'm over there having beers in his front porch with him because COVID, we couldn't be inside, right? And then 24 hours later, we're under contract. And then now fast forward, we're in the middle of building our personal custom home on it. So, I mean, these things work. And I'm sitting here listening to what you guys were talking about before I jumped on, and 10 phone calls a day, right? And if you're doing 5, 6, 7 transactions a month, then 10 phone calls a day, that's about par for the course. If you're doing 0, 1, maybe 2 a month, you got to look at this as a business. You're not just a real estate salesperson, right? Like, I've worked in those phone centers. Do you know why they pay salespeople more than anyone else on the lower level? It's because they're the ones bringing in the money, and that's the part that's going to bring you in the money. So if you were owning John Doe real estate sales, and you look down at the numbers and you see, okay, this person made 10 phone calls today, and that was you. You would fire your ass, it would happen that quick, right? 10 phone calls a day. Like I did that while I was waiting to come on here. like it's really it takes 5 seconds to dial those 10 digits. You probably have the number saved. So that being said, we're gonna go over a little bit of mindset. Again, hot calls, templates, not scripts. I do believe that scripts are very important because you got to have a plan. Setting solid appointments. Nothing happens if you're not going to have some type of follow-up strategy, some face-to-face. If you've ever read, 7 levels of communication, you'll understand the importance.
Todd, have you ever read that book?
Yes.
It's not a multiple.
I think it holds. I think it holds my pillow up at night. That's how close I am to it.
Yeah, your systems. What are you going to do with the business once you got it? Driving your network, how to be an influencer, closing the deal, and acquiring referrals. So yeah, go ahead and let's click the next slide. All right, so real simple. I see so much noise in this industry, particularly if you're starting off. You get your real estate license, you get 500 phone calls. Hey, I'm a lender. Hey, I'm a title. I'm insurance. I'm inspector. I have this CRM. I have this tool. I have this whatever. All you really need is just your phone and your CRM. Like you already have those things even in your personal life. No big deal. Your CRM, you can pay as little as what's
$30 bucks a month.
$30 a month.
Yeah.
And then you can go. The sky's the limit with that, depending on how crazy you want to get. The apps on your phone, I just have our CRM. I have the West USA mobile app. I use it religiously, and then I have the Flex MLS app. Those are the only 3 that I really use.
I know you very well. You're missing one under apps.
Starts with
yeah.
an F.
Starts with an F.
Flex MLS.
Forewarn.
Oh,
you're on forewarn all the time, bro.
Well, yeah, I do use that. That's
Advanced
a great
search.
Thanksgiving trick. Whenever Uncle Tom's in the room, hey, Uncle Tom, what were you up to this past year? Let's put you on the big screen over here. He loves it.
Stole my game.
Moral of the story is keep it simple. So mindset, you got to have a spirit to win. These are all hot leads. I mean, act like you're giving your best friend a phone call. You're giving your mother a phone. Your biggest cheerleader. That's who you're giving the phone call to.
Yeah, and I think this is important because one of the most common phrases I hear from all agents is, I hate cold calling. Well, if you start your day going, I hate what I'm about to do,
Yep.
it's over.
We were having a one-on-one with where I was having a one-on-one with an agent the other day, and it seemed like every single time he was opening up with something, it was, I hate this or I hate that. And then one time he started off with 3 hates. I hate, X, Y, Z. And I said, get used to it, but this is the job.
Yeah.
Exchange that word hate with love, right? Like
I love my CRM.
I love
See?
going in, yeah.
Look at you, Mikey.
I can't wait to get
by the way-
off this and get into my CRM system.
I was surprised that that's the only thing you're disappointed in him with.
Well, listen, this is only an hour-long podcast.
There's a poem out there by Charles Swindoll. It says, attitude, second to the last sentence says, life is 10% what happens to you and 90% how you react to it. Yep. Just apply that to this. Apply it to your mindset.
Yeah, and I'm over here thinking like, taking for example your best friend. You're calling up your best friend. Why would you only call your best friend once every other month?
Yeah.
Right. like you're hanging out with these people all the time. You're texting them, hey, what's going on? Right. There's so many different items of value. Plus, with how quick the market is moving, there's no reason why you can't bring something of value to that relationship every single day.
Yep.
Move fast, and you don't need to write novels. You don't need to commit to half-hour conversations. When I'm texting or I'm doing video or I'm making those quick phone calls, I'll even preface it. Hey, I'm stepping into an appointment. I got 2 minutes. I'm going to give you a buzz real quick, let you know what's going on with interest rates because I know that was one of your concerns.
Love it.
Right? Boom. Get through it. All right, gotta go. No big deal. Perseverance that leads into your CRM conversation. They all require multiple attempts. Right? I mean, there's no way that you're going to go over there and conceptualize a deal and close it in one conversation. It just doesn't happen that way. And if you think that you're going to get somewhere with because you're so good on that one phone call, guess what? They forgot about it an hour later. One of the biggest lessons that I learned, I don't remember who it was, but I was watching some YouTube and he said, what differentiated me from everybody else is that every single morning I wake up, I'm excited to re-interview for my job. I'm taking appraisal of myself every single day, and I'm breaking down my strengths and my weaknesses. And then when I call up that person that I spoke to yesterday, I'm refilling out that resume. Hey, you know what? We know what was so great about me yesterday? Not only is that true today, but here's even more here's even more value I'm adding onto the plate, right? I didn't win it. My own mom will fire my ass.
Yes, she would.
Yeah, and you know what? It'd be my fault.
Yeah, and it's like I guess it's like dating and marriage. Unless there is an obscene amount of alcohol involved, no one goes from first date to marriage on the same day, right?
No.
It just takes time, and I think we have that expectation whether a lead comes in or I'm calling someone or I meet somebody at the open house that it's this instant gratification. And we have to keep in mind, people are on their own timetable. And sometimes as agents, we try to force our timetable on them.
And I also go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, and we have to think about the definition of the word leads too, or also. In other words, when 15, 20 years ago in sales, a lead was somebody who was ready to buy, willing to sign the contracts, and able to close escrow. And so we always called it ready, willing, and able. That was a lead. When you bought a lead or you got a lead from Chicago, as a referral, that person was typically ready, willing, and more than likely able. Then came the internet. And leads became suspects and prospects. Prospects is somebody who's interested in what you might have. Suspects are just people that are breathing. Now, all of a sudden, even Zillow admits it's 1,000 to 1. That's the statistic of a lead that is someone who's visited a website to the point in time to being ready, willing, and able. Everybody in the
That's
world,
success.
Yeah, everybody in the world is going to be able at one. You would hope at one particular time to get involved in the real estate game. However, do you have that much time and energy to put into people that aren't ready in the next 3 to 6 months? Because otherwise now you're taking away from what you should be doing today to make tomorrow's business by trying to incubate somebody for 6 months from now.
Yeah, and last year's numbers are 1.7% is success. So if you go and you have 100 brand new real estate conversations and you close 1.7 of those, that's success. And trust me, it wasn't done by one conversation. No. So these numbers, like whatever that number is, put a 0 behind it, and that's going to put you on the path of how to grow to the next level. So, first impressions, sales pitch. I want to get into the nitty gritty of my value add, and I want to take as much fat off of it as possible. Like I'm going to hit them right away that I am not interested in talking about house color. I'm not interested in talking about whether or not you have an EV charger for your Tesla. I don't care about those things. What I care about is how I'm going to help you build wealth in real estate. Other than that, you're not my client. So let's just cut bait and get off the phone right now if that's not going to work for you. If you are interested in building wealth, then let's continue this conversation. Which would you like to do? That's not that big of a deal. Smile, upbeat. So I hear so many people calling it cold calling. Right? Drives me up the wall. Yeah. Right? These are people. This could be your next best friend. Hell, it could be your next spouse. You never know what that phone call is going to conclude with. So smile, stand up, walk around. I mean, there's a track around the cul-de-sac in my neighborhood with my footprints all over it because I'm just walking miles around there because I know if I'm sitting down all humdrum and whatnot, then there's going to be zero energy in my voice. There's going to be no luster in what I'm saying, and when I move, my brain thinks better. So, get up, walk around, change things up.
Now, I didn't take a look at your other slides, but your opinion on, and I know what your opinion is because we just had an agent on our team came to us and wanted, need to talk to people, and so you had him record his calls, and we were listening to it this morning, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm like, dang. He's pretty good. Didn't see that coming. Yeah, I didn't see that coming. But I think, too, we need to be recording ourselves and going back and listening to it.
It goes back to giving yourself that honest appraisal, right? And if you have the presence of mind to do that, then it's only going to help you. I for one, I'm terrible at it because phone call comes in and I'm 90% of the time it's windshield time, and so a phone call comes in and hey, there I'm going. right? And so the idea to record myself doesn't always jump into my head. But yeah, if I'm sitting down in a controlled environment, then yeah, I'll absolutely do it. And I think that it's a great tool. Speedy conversions, it's not just speed to lead. Now, anyone that has been through any of my trainings, they know that it's all about speed to lead. Every single second that, whether it be an internet lead or whether it be a hot call or whether it be a sign call, the moment that they press send or they press enter or whatever, the clock starts ticking on the increase of their remorse. So the second they sent it, they loved the idea. The next second, maybe 1%, dwindled away, maybe 10. I mean, that's how fast it can work. So getting these people on the phone or getting an appointment as soon as possible is of utmost importance. Constant temp checks, right? So I'm asking probing questions. What kind of experience do you have with that? Well, did you like that, right? Let them know your time is valuable, right? So even on my first pitch where I'm talking about, hey, this is the type of guy I am. I'm here to help you build wealth. Like, I'm telling them this is my value add. And if this doesn't work, then we need to cut bait right now. Because I'm not for everybody. I don't need to be for everybody. There's so much business out there. I have this built around internet leads, but really it's synonymous with everything. Everything is technology driven. You need to understand that they are trusting the data that they're getting online. The last thing that they're going to do is put their name and their email and their phone number into an untrusted situation. So they've already spoken to you and said, hey, I'm willing to put my information on the internet and let some random person call me or reach out to me.
I want you to kind of expound on the one bullet point. Let them know your time is valuable, because this is flipping the script. We are viewed, and a lot of times, as simply a walking, talking
Doormat.
super e-key. We're there to let people in the home. And I think there's this, and we're obviously in sales. And I think a lot of us have become doormats, and a lot of times, especially when we're starting our career, it's amazing the stuff that we would be willing to do and expose ourselves to, that for those of us who've been doing it for a couple decades now would never do it. But we've all been there. And so you're really good at this because it's important to flip that script, to let them know that your time as the agent is just as important. I'm not your slave. I am not at your beck and call. And if you want to succeed, this is how it works.
Yeah, I think you're probably fishing for my famous line. Whenever I talk to somebody, I say, hey, look, before long, when you see my number pop up on your phone, I want you to think I'm about to get paid.
Yeah.
Now,
I've literally heard him we've been in the truck and he's thrown that out there and people are like, huh. But it does. It psychologically flips that script now of moving yourself up in their perception of value.
And I also let them know, hey, my compensation is my commission when we close on a home. Now, if you go rogue on me, guess what? I'm not going to call you anymore. It's just as simple as that. Unless you want to figure out a different fee structure, which I'm happy to do. If I want to, $4.50 an hour, that'll work. Or just fold me in on the deal of your closing. Moral of the story, though, is they're only going to value you as much as you value you.
Absolutely.
Well, I think that's something that new licensees don't understand, and like Mike said, it's easy when you're new to do all of the extra things that the potential sale is going to need you to do to get to that sales, to get that commission. Setting expectations is something that new licensees just don't know how to do. Having that conversation about the hours you're available, having the conversation about when you call, the conversations you're going to have, the specifics of what you're going to do for that person, it's not something they understand. And if you're sitting on this call and you're like, wow, this is really good stuff, I've never thought about this before. This is what working with a team, this is what working with a coach, this is what working with an experienced agent gets you exponentially to this point. Really quickly, one more thing. I'm seeing a lot of social media posts of these social media experts that, hey, I'm going to teach you how to do 12 transactions a month. Sign up for this program. It's going to be $1,000 for the year, and I'm going to help you. That's what this is, and you're doing it for free right now. That's all that these guys are talking about. It's the basic basics of sales 101, mindset, having intentionality, setting expectations, but these people are good at making it look flashy online, and they're getting sales from it.
Well, you got to be good at being able to explain your value proposition in a very short period of time. And I think the conversation of wealth is something everybody really wants out of life. I mean, look at how well Dave Ramsey's been doing, and 99.9% of the people don't come out of Ramsey successful. So,
Correct.
I mean, the reality is change your mind, change your business, change your life.
Yeah, and one more thing on value is I'm not going to invest more in you than you're willing to invest in you. And I just see that constantly. There's people just chasing, and they're just over there overwatering these plants, right? And then what do you think is going to happen? So I think that we've beat that dead horse. True.
Yeah,
true.
we got to get rocking and
yeah.
rolling here.
All right. Templates, not scripts. I'm writing down key touch points. We'll go over what sales pitches look like and how to introduce yourself. These things that we're talking about. You just kind of got to know what the culture is of who you're talking to. So if you're talking to internet leads, you know that these are buyers. They're probably getting a lot of their information online. You need to understand that they're getting fed a lot of negative media, right? So get in front of that right away. Adjust your frame of mind. If you think they are great leads, you will have great conversations. Again, they're hot leads. You're calling your best friend. Sometimes people truly don't have time, but for the most part, they want to have these conversations. And Mike, I know you've said it on here 1,000 times. Everybody wants to talk real estate, but no one wants to talk to realtors, right? Avoid words or thoughts that are only associated with work. Clients don't want to feel like they are talking on another job. This is already stressful enough, okay? Let's have a conversation with them, for Christ's sake. These are people, right? Talk to them like they're people. I mean, that's why AI is doing so well. Yeah. Is because they're doing a better job of taking people back to work because that's what they're already accustomed to. If you can differentiate yourself right up front by saying, hey, look, let's just have a conversation, see where it goes, right? There's not going to be any big, huge sales press or anything like that. So again, do not use the word realtor or real estate agent. Hey, this is Ryan. I'm a real estate wealth manager. I'm giving you a buzz because I got your information because, like if we're going back to that data mining, for some reason or another, something's happened in your household, and I'd like to accomplish A, B, or C. Questions. I'm all about having poignant and intelligent lines of questioning. So what experience do you have with buying and selling real estate? What are you trying to accomplish out of this conversation? What research have you done on this or any property or listing for that matter? Are you aware of the current market conditions? Where are you getting your information from? How are you processing that, and what's your take on the market, right? Do you have any insight on what it will take to win in this market? What do you perceive my role to be in helping you on your quest? I love that last question.
That one, yeah.
Right? Because they all have, again, we're here to pop locks. We're here to be a doormat. We're here to call and just beat up. And for me, I'm not interested in that relationship. MOPAR is an acronym I came up with. It bullet points the transition of a conversation. Motivation, I need to know why you're buying, selling, or investing. Obstacles and objections, what's going through your head, what are the mental blocks or the actual financial blocks that you've run into that are keeping you from hitting the closing table. Pre-qualification, that's more than just calling up your lender. I mean, there's mindset, there's the type of home that they own, if they own a home, if they're trying to sell it, what the condition of that property is in, what their employment status looks like. Setting that appointment. I know you guys drilled that down, but we have a saying over here called "Don't stop at MOP." So MOP. Everybody will go. I've seen so many really intelligent, really sophisticated people go over there, have conversations, and then they say, "All right, well, we'll see you later. I'll catch you on the flip side," and I'm standing there in awe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, trade information. Don't hand them a business card. Kills me. What are they going to do with that? Go over there, set up the contact in your phone, put up a time in your calendar or your CRM to follow up, and go grab coffee or go show a home, whatever, and referrals. And most oftentimes people think that, oh, hey, I need to start asking for referrals out of all my conversations. I'm saying give them. Yeah, we're going to get into this a little bit more, but so go ahead and there we go. Understanding buyer types, DISC test, or any type of personality test, so that you can identify what type of person that you're dealing with, and then furthermore, you need to understand where they are in life. Just because, so let's go with DISC. everybody has a little bit of everything or a lot of everything in them, right? So if they had a bad day and you're dealing with a high I, guess what? You're probably dealing with a high SC right at that point in time. So you need to understand what's going on with them at that particular point in time, and then speak to it, right? And then understanding whether or not they're brand new to the industry, or if they're just a difficult client, or if they've actually done some research, how well informed they are, or if they're a luxury client. Your pitch / value add. I'm a real estate consultant. I'm a real estate wealth manager. Whatever it is, don't call yourself a realtor. They've already heard that 5.5 billion times. I'm going to help you set up a plan for retirement. Here's my experience. Here's the type of quality and service that you should expect, not just before, but after we close, because really my job starts afterwards. Any monkey can go over there and pop a lock, right? Any idiot can go over there and fill in the blanks on a contract. You only have to do it a couple of times, and you're basically a master, right? Because the thing,
Third time's the charm.
yeah, transaction desk just doesn't let you finish it without filling out every blank. So you're not some crazy magician because you write better contracts. Like, please. Convenience. Our biggest convenience factor is the fact that we have a team. Yeah. It doesn't matter what time of day or day of the week. If I'm out of town, or if I'm completely wrapped up with another client, we have a team backing it up so that they can accomplish whatever they need to at that point in time. Consultation, information, and then intelligent line of questioning. You're going to see that as being a constant theme. I see so many people just info dumping, and it's all ego. And nobody cares about you. Okay, they don't care how awesome you think you are or how many deals you closed. They care about themselves and their family. So get over yourself. Don't stop at MOP. All efforts are ultimately designed to set the appointment. When should the appointment take place? On that first,
Yesterday?
on that first conversation, all I'm looking for is that face to face. And it's a tried and true recipe. Zillow just banged it out of the park. Because all they push and all they impress upon all this other stuff, it doesn't matter. Just call them up and say, hey, let's see that you're interested in 123 West Main Street. Let's go over there. I'll see you there in 15 minutes. All right, bye. That's their entire pitch. Yeah. Like, that's all that it is. So dial it in. Where, who, make sure that everyone's there, all the decision makers. For me, it's okay if I know that I'm dealing with the primary decision maker to spend a little bit more time on that first one with that first one in order to develop that relationship, but still under the premise of what is and what isn't going to work for our relationship.
I think one of the mistakes we make as agents on setting appointments is when it's time to ask for the appointment, making it a yes or no question. And humans, we always take the path of least resistance. And if you allow me to tell you no, and you make it easy for me to tell you no, I'm going to tell you no instead of options.
Yeah, we all associate the word yes with more work, right? So, yes, I'm going to do it. Damn. I got work to do.
So for me, it's not, hey, would you like to get together? It's, hey, does today at 5 or tomorrow at 4? Which one of those two works best for you?
Yeah, and I'm going to speed through a couple of these slides to so CRM. Why is Agent Line Desk Chime? You guys already talked about it. Doesn't matter. Whatever the best CRM that you can possibly have is the one that you use. Doesn't matter. Campaigns. We use neighborhood reports, websites. We use videos. We have we have podcasts. Everything. You kind of need to identify what's going to really speak to that client. Automations. Every successful company makes it their goal to design one automation a month. And I'm talking huge Fortune 500 where you're like, how can Amazon get it even more automated? Yet they do. After the close, we have a ton of different trainings on that, but it doesn't even matter and it doesn't matter if part of your after the close is that you're going to go over there and pet their dog for a half hour. It doesn't matter. You just have to have something that's going to get in front of them and let them know that, hey, I'm still knocking at your door.
It wasn't all about the closing.
Yeah. Contracts, transaction desk. And then if you don't have a transaction coordinator, you're firing on one cylinder. That's all there is to say about that. Your cadence. So this is for those clients or for those lead sheets that are either focus farms or internet leads or something like that. they're not always going to answer on the first call.
Right.
More often they're not. So we're always double tapping them, right? Then because they're seeing an unfamiliar number. They may have just hit enter on the website, and then you hit them right away, and then they're still reluctant to answer. And then after that, I'll finally leave a voicemail and send a mobile app. I'll send them an email. I'll send them a text message with a short video introducing myself. Day 2, I'm calling 3 times. I'll send a circle back text. I'll start setting up a neighborhood report. I don't mind telling them, hey, I bought your information. I know where you live. Here's your info. Right?
So I'm going to let everybody know because we are getting up against the clock. So obviously this will be...
Yeah, we can send you over the cadence.
Yeah, this will be recorded, and at the very end, I'm going to give you Ryan's contact information, and he can send you over that cadence.
Yep.
But I just, in our last minute, I want to make sure we hit whatever you think is important.
Yeah, so here's a handful of people that are huge partners of ours, and they're not there for any other reason than we have vetted them, we have worked with them for years and years, and they've just done an amazing job. So here's a little shout out to Fairway and to Fidelity and to HCP and Toro as well. Closing the deal, how to ask for business, scale of 1 to 7. I'm always asking hard questions. What do you want? What are you waiting for? What do you think waiting will accomplish? Are you entering the market at desperation or logic? These are some really good questions to really get them digging. Are you ready to do whatever in your power to win? Confidence. Internet leads hire the person they have most confidence in. Internet leads only have confidence in people that have confidence. And then I'm always embracing competition. Yeah, please shop me. Go talk to the next person. Happy to take the Pepsi challenge.
Pepsi challenge.
Yeah. Acquiring referrals, it's an organic transition, and it always happens through giving them. And guess what? You have to give them results before they're going to entrust in you to work with one of their friends or family. Okay, so if you've done a good job for them, that's when they're going to send referrals over to you. Yeah. They're not going to do it off of your first phone call. So if you're over there banging their door on that, get over it. Probably not going to happen, but it is going to strengthen confidence in leads. It's going to be easier. They're easier to convert in business longevity.
All right, so there is Ryan's contact information. Feel bad, we spent too much time in the very beginning. Some great information, and so if you want to get some of this information, there is Ryan's contact information. I'd also encourage you. Grab a piece of paper and jot this down, but when we get off this podcast, go into the calendar through your dashboard and look up March 27th. You and I are going to be at the Scottsdale office talking a lot about this and the concept of being a real estate wealth manager and how we're implementing this. So you want to get signed up for it. But thanks, buddy.
Hey, thanks for having us, guys. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right, leave you with the quote of the day: to love what you do and feel like it matters. How could anything be more fun? I got to start reading these ahead of time. I feel like I didn't read that right. Nick.
It's okay. You got close.
Atomic Nick.
Atomic Nick.
Mike always does what he loves to do anyhow. So
thanks, Ryan.
I appreciate everybody joining us today. Go out and sell a home.